Arrested. It would
No.
be more
I think-
SOS Band. There was
Oh, when I see that,
Midnight Star.
Midnight. Well, Midnight.
It was
Do you, how
wild.
much do you think that the technology played it? Because obviously, the Midnight Star, Lakeside, that whole '80s generation, they were like more keyboard driven. The horns went away, the live, and it was more like the 808 and those different Jimmy and Terry's productions. Now, is that still funk or is that something else?
What was it? I mean, I think those are all guys who obviously had funk pedigree and grew up.
Right.
They could play funk better than
Right.
I could. That's for
Right.
sure. So who am I to say or
Right.
this or whatever? But at the same time, somehow I think everybody. It was a bit of actually. He's a brilliant man, but I'm gonna blame this on Quincy Jones.
Go ahead, talk about it.
Quincy, I love you. I have the utmost respect for Quincy as a composer, as a producer, everything. But I think Quincy had such great success reinventing
Right.
the sound of Michael
Right.
and taking it to a place that people know. I think honestly, people didn't think that black music could go there. He took it to this just an incredible place of studio craft and pop songwriting and using incredible, really great R&B vocalists, funk players, but using whoever it took to make this incredible thing. And I think that actually, then you had all these, instead of people going in wanting to make something that sounded funky in the studio, they wanted to make something that was refined in the pop sense, like what Quincy had created.
Sonny, I had conversations. Remember Kashif? But these guys, they were all New York songwriters, and they all
Right.
wanted to make. They all were trying to make Off the Wall.
Right.
Everyone was trying to make Off the Wall. Everyone in New York wanted to make Off the Wall, and it really and that was a much more precise, slick.
It was a very slick aesthetic. It was like, it went from this nasty, dirty funk thing to everything being very syncopated, very tight, real incredible musicianship, but being done in, everything's perfect,
Right.
everything's slick, wanting to basically play in a major league. So everybody wanted everything to be perfect. So they lost the beauty of something being made in Muscle Shoals, something being made in the little Stack studio, something being made in Ohio. That kind of left the studio.
It's interesting, and so hip hop was the engine. It's interesting. Sampling hip hop brought funk.
Right. Well, that's.
Yeah,
I think you have to credit. I credit sampling anyway. I know there's going to be a great deal of controversy, but I'm going to credit sampling. Sampling took that essence, took that rawness of the funk, and then put that back on the radio where it had been missing.
Okay. Let's jump ahead then. Okay.
All right.
Let's
do James.
Let's do James Brown.
Well, we did James Brown. I went to do. Yeah, we got just two more things. So we're going to do. Wow.
I gave you
The Nelson George collection is falling apart here.
That's my mother's album. How about that?
Really?
Yeah, I stole all her shit. So that is my favorite. The Payback is my favorite James Brown record because it's just that is stripped down, hardcore. That's funk.
Yeah. No, this is it. Let's see here. Let's look at. Yeah. Backstabbers, Big Payback. He's got it's all.
The tracks are all like 8 minutes or something like that. Some insane.
Yeah, and well, James Brown was interesting because he obviously came from an era earlier, but he delved right into becoming an album-oriented artist, and he came from being an artist putting 7-inch records out on King for the longest time, 45s, probably even before that, and then, but really transitioned very successfully into being an album-oriented artist. And to me, that his favorite era for me was, like I said, when he